Football is the world's game. It is loved and cherished by people of all nations. Its stars are larger than life, and its moments are transcendent. Its victories are sweet, and its defeats are devastating. Entire nations hold their breath in anticipation of the final whistle. Young and old find community, unified around one thing: the love of the game. Growing up in the United States of America, deep in the heart of Texas, I was raised with a very different sporting experience. My heroes wore a helmet and shoulder pads, and ran into each other with the ferocity of a SWAT team battering ram. You see, I grew up with a love for a different football, and unfortunately, an indifference toward the most beautiful game in the world. I missed out on world-changing moments, historic goals, and heroic defensive exploits. Hey guys, today's video is going to be a learning video. I'm going to try to fill in some of those gaps in my football knowledge, and today I'm going to be learning about the World Cup in 2014. It's a moment that I lived through, although it didn't really break through my American sports bubble. I do remember the memes that came out about Brazil losing to Germany. I remember that, but that's about the only thing from the tournament that I actually know or remember. So today I'm going to be learning all about the tournament and what it was about, the historical context and moments that surrounded it. But first, I'm going to get changed and head to the gym real quick, play a little footy, and then I'll come back. You know, I owe a lot to this beautiful game. 9 months ago, I was just on the couch. This beautiful game has got me motivated to live life again. Feeling better every day that I train, and my blood sugar is regulated. I don't need insulin. And it's all due to this beautiful, beautiful game, football. Anyway, about to head back home and learn a little bit about the World Cup 2014. So I decided to pursue two avenues of learning for this video. First, I would watch the FIFA 2014 documentary of the World Cup tournament. And second, I would interview some fans to gain their perspective on the tournament. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video because I hopped on a video call with some subscribers from Germany and Argentina. Before watching this documentary, it was really easy for me to mock and to laugh about Brazil losing at home in 2014 and getting embarrassed on that stage. The memes were hilarious, and I found it really easy. After watching the documentary and seeing the pain that the people were going through and how devastating it was to lose on their home pitch, it's just a little bit more difficult to mock and ridicule anymore. This documentary was good, but what it didn't do was actually cover the tournament that much, and so I feel like if I'm going to really do my due diligence in studying the history, I do need to actually watch some more videos about the tournament itself. So I'm going to watch a few more, and we'll see what we have to say. So I just watched some videos. Specifically, I've got two words to say. about the 2014 German team. Manuel Neuer. I just watched a compilation of his best saves from 2014, and now I can totally understand why he was in the running for Ballon d'Or. I got to see him do his sweeper keeper thing and be way out. He's out here making tackles, looking like a defender. And yeah, man, Manuel Neuer, what a impact he had on the German team during this tournament.
When I was a kid, I was born in '82. My grandfather was born during the early days of that regime. So he's from the Munich area, what now would be outside of, or what then was completely outside of Munich, now is more in the city. Once they got back here, he moved to like the Greenville, South Carolina area with a lot of family and stuff. And basically it was a German way of living in the South, if that makes sense. So I was the first of that side of the family that was born here.
Paint like a picture of the German team that year in 2014, and like, why were they so dominant? What do you think?
For me, they really weren't dominant until the knockout rounds kicked in. Once we hit the semifinal against Brazil, then that's what everybody just essentially assumes. Hey, y'all are so dominant. No, we just that was just one of those lightning stroke of genius games that was a deciding point of that tournament. Because once you beat Brazil in Brazil, that bad, you really, and I don't like this, you really can't lose in the final.
Yeah. So last night, as I was working my shift, I'm an overnight security guard officer. I got to sit in the guardhouse last night, which meant I got to do nothing, and I got to watch. So I got to watch the entire Brazil game, and this is the first time I'd actually watched the whole game through. Y'all, I knew it was 7-1, but boy, 3 goals in like the span of 3 minutes. Tony Kroos, whatever, however you say his name, with 2 goals within a minute of each other. Within 25 minutes, it's 4-0. That happened so fast. Now I understand, like, when you see the kid crying in the stands, you can understand why the emotion is coming out the way it is. Kroos' second goal is so beautiful, by the way. But you can see why it elicits the emotion it does, because it was so fast. The game was not that far out of hand, and then all of a sudden, it's over. It's over so fast. Oh my gosh.
That was a back-breaking moment.
Yeah.
I mean, if you scored 2 back-to-back, you're still in that position of they can come back. If it's 3, you're starting to get to that point where it may be slipping away, but if it's early enough, you might be able to get. But when it's 5, 6 goals at the half,
right,
there's really nothing you can come into that locker room and be like, yeah, we still have a chance.
The sound of Argentina rips through the heart of Brazil. The 21st meeting of Argentina and Germany, the 3rd in a World Cup final.
Well, I was 14 at the time. I was born in 2000. I remember the final as a huge missed opportunity for the team, especially because I think there wasn't that much of a difference between the German team performance and our team's performance. I think the attackers really missed a lot of clear chances. And talking about that, there's a Gatorade commercial about Messi. That is really famous, and when it reaches that point of World Cup final, they show him missing that goal that goes near the post.
Oh, and he's missed!
It's the end of the dream for Leo Messi.
And it's over the bar!
So many big losses in a row.
Messi is definitely cursed.
You can't be the greatest if you don't win these tournaments.
I think it was a really great game. Tactically, like, our coach at that time was really a great coach that followed the same ideals as Bilardo, who was the coach that won '86 World Cup. He tried to give the national team an identity and a style of play that maybe wasn't the best for Messi, because maybe we stood up defensively, but there wasn't so many football creating chances, you know.
I mean, basically for that game, it was one of those. Argentina had their chances. You're playing Messi essentially, and with Messi, anything can happen. He can create something on his own. And that was the thing. He had a lot of shots and a lot of creations and stuff in that game that, I mean, for me, heart was in the throat the entire time. When we went into extra time, it was that exact thing. Every time Messi touched the ball, you're sitting there kind of like, no. Right. But then it was Andre Schürrle took the ball, crossed it in. For me personally, I didn't even see Mario Götze there. I didn't think he was tall enough to even touch it, let alone get a toe enough to divert it past Romero. But when that happened, I think everybody in my house thought I was getting murdered.
Higuaín had 2 chances. Palacio had 1 chance. And Messi had 1 chance. And they all missed. So then the extra time comes and the team fell asleep like for 1 minute. And then Schweinsteiger gives the ball to Götze, and that's it.
Granted, it could have been everybody in the neighborhood. I don't know, but I squealed and started yelling. Once you go up like that in a vital time, even in the Champions League final for Bayern against PSG, the first thing I do is scream and then start yelling, F this player and F that player and F that guy. But it was all F Messi. So it didn't really matter. Right. and the thing was like, I was screaming that, and my parents thought that like Argentina had scored because I was yelling F him, and then it was like F Maradona. And I went down their list of people.